Hey man, I'm gonna start being a consultant for just, I'm kind of like this anyway, but just keeping it real, not like hurting people's feelings directly. Actually, I never do that. If I'm like around or I like do nice things, but I'm thinking something else. But when it's just abstract and in general, and it's not an individual, I don't mind talking about it. Which brings me to the conversation of some of these people need to they're just not getting it. I've mentioned this before. This John Oates, Hall and Oates. I mean, he seems like a nice enough guy. They got a big dispute going over splitting the sales of the songs in half. Let me just get down to the bottom line. John Oates ain't worth a fuck without Daryl Hall. I mean, he looks like he ought to be fucking picking tomatoes. He's about 4 feet tall. He is so lucky that he met Daryl Hall and he'd have never heard of him. And even though it's the old adage, there's a big difference between what's right and wrong and what's legal. Okay? And it's just wrong that John Oates thinks he deserves half of the success those two had. Yeah, I know, it was two guys, and in theory, you should split it down the middle. But the truth of the matter is, it should be like 95% Daryl Hall and 5% John Oates. John Oates can't sing worth a fuck. He's a so-so guitar player. I mean, you don't need to be the best looking, most charismatic person in the world to sail the ship, but you're going to have more going on than John Oates had ever hoped for. Yeah, it's just, you can forget it, man. I can understand Daryl getting pissed. I don't know whether he just didn't want this stuff sold at a discounted rate to these third-party brokerage song firms or what. But, I once in a while I'll catch one of his videos that comes up in my feed, and it's like, you're out of your fucking mind, John. You need a goddamn psychiatrist. You've got all sorts of plastic surgery, still trying to act like he's 18. But the only reason I bring this up is because I clicked on one last night, and he just talked about, like, back when him and Daryl Hall started out. They were in a bad neighborhood playing their songs. Gunfire started out. Yeah, fuck. These two pussies. If Gunfire started out, they were lost. I mean, give me a fucking break, man. And then he said that's how they met, and at the time they each had bands and they each had single songs out. Yeah, I'll offer you $10 million right now if you can name me one song fucking Daryl Hall ever wrote. Nah, same here. Fuck, I don't know. I mean, and now he's trying to get half. This is just how the world works. There's a bunch of these guys out there. There's an excellent guitar player from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Laith El Sadi is his name. Big, fat, overweight Arab, got busted with some fentanyl and some other kind of drugs up in Gaylord, Michigan around 8 years ago. Super great guitar player, very personable guy, University of Michigan graduate. Grew up in Michigan, but when you're selling music, he was on The View or The Voice, whatever the fuck that was, took second place or something. And that Adam Levine, who he said he was the best guitar player he'd ever heard, and I believe that. And luckily for Laith, in that particular instance, that was a blind audition. That means that, you're playing your guitar behind a cardboard wall and they don't know what you look like, because here's another guy that's suffering from this. Here he takes second place. They promoted the fuck out of him. He also took runner-up on Guitar Center's Blues Player of the Year. And he can't fill a bar with 5 fucking seats. Just can't. I mean, nothing's going on. I mean, you got ignorant people that, think you snuck over here and hijacked an airplane. The physical appearance, it just doesn't fly. Even if you help little kittens and ducklings across the expressway all day long, that ain't fucking selling records. And sure enough, he has no venue scheduled for all of 2025. Another super great guitar player. He's a really nice guy, plays the shit out of a guitar. He's trying to get on YouTube, but even his TikTok is nothing. His name's Boogie Long. He's from down around New Orleans. Big fat motherfucker. Plays with his mouth open. And a lot of these guys, one of the biggest things I think they make a mistake at doing is they try and be witty and funny, and they just shut the hell up. It's just not you. All these people would be more successful, not by much, if they just shut the fuck up. Don't try and be like a charismatic, witty, person when you're not. It's so fucking obvious. You know, there's a guy I hung around with 35 years, a little bit. He worked for me, and he's just so full of shit. He's always trying to like make it look like he's something he's not, and come across as an intellect. He can't spell. His sentence structure sucks, and I just kind of quit fucking with him. I just couldn't take it anymore. It was that annoying. You know, you just gotta quit doing this shit. But some people just never really seem to get it. You know? So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, and then you know another thing I've really kicked, and maybe part of it's getting older, is I'm getting not fucking with this technology bullshit anymore. You're not trapping me on this shit. And I think a lot of people have figured it out. The latest computer, cell phone, all that shit. If my cell phone broke today, I'd really consider not replacing it. Same if I see all these. You know, you can get a 43-inch smart big screen monitor for $248. Just fucking insane. Not me. 1080p. That's as high as I'm going. Even on my YouTube videos. Not doing it anymore. Once in a while, like I'll try a light 4K video because it, like that Star app I got, that's the only thing it records video on is 4K, so I just stick with it. But even most of the times then I downgrade it. And I think I'm going to gear up slowly for WordPress. Yeah, I'm thankful to YouTube in a lot of ways, but I'm also sick of them too, in a lot of ways. Just tired of their bullshit. I don't need them for anything. Really don't. I just don't like the way they are always tweaking and trying to bullshit you and censoring your material. And WordPress, it looks like I get away with it. I'm not saying you got to go on there and just be like crazy, vulgar, super inappropriate shit. But that's why I don't monetize anything now, because, you know, I know how all those videos I've got uploaded, what is it, 26,000? If I monetized, I'd only get like 200 a month. It's not worth me whoring myself out for 200 a month. So, because when you check all that shit, is it possibly offensive? Could you insult anybody? Is it politically correct? Is it false medically? You know, just 50 fucking questions. Every time you're going to upload this bullshit video nobody's watching anyway, it's not worth it. So I check no on anything. It's not fucking worth it. Now, I'm not saying I don't have a price, but I'm not doing it for 200 a month. No way. Just not gonna do it. Now, if you wanted to give me like, I don't really know what my price would be actually, where I just gotta like shut my ass up, check my personality, and do what they say, and 200 ain't gonna get it. Don't ever forget this. Everybody has a price. Every single one of you, me included. You'd like to think, but then you start thinking of all the bullshit, less bullshit you got to put up with if they gave you this amount of money. It gives you money gives you the chance to be free, to not have to kiss as many asses, to like not have to, you know, be politically correct. That's the thing. Now, I like to eat out and fuck off, stay up late, and I've quit drinking again. Not that I had a problem with it, but I just got done reading a big study Harvard did, and I already knew this, on how REM affects your sleep. And, you know, alcohol, even tiny amounts affect it. And at this age, there's just not the gas in the tank when you consider human growth hormone and all those things to fuck around with not a good night's sleep too. I mean, I know this sounds so pussy, which it is, but it's just, you know, I'm not going to escape getting older either. And I notice, like, sometimes if I do that, have just like 2 Dragon's Milks, I just don't feel as energetic in the morning, you know. And then I do that adrenal fatigue. I'll drink a fucking couple coffees, like this one I just got at Starbucks, my second one. I'm dragging ass today. Drank a bunch of coffees, took an energy drink, fucking wore my ass out. Just gave this old ass energy it shouldn't have had, and I paid for it today. So, you know, I'm just not going to fuck with it. I mean, I'm sure I'm not quitting it forever. I'll be back. It enhances things. Alcohol enhances things. It does. Especially when you're dating. I just can't imagine, like, meeting someone new and you were having fun and you wanted to bang them. and you did it sober, it'd be so less fun. Even chats aren't as fun sober. They're really not. Looking at art, watching a movie, being on vacation. Why do you think fucking booze sales are through the roof? I don't know about this state, but I know in Michigan you can see where the highest amount of alcohol sales are. And it'll blow your mind how much people buy this. And that's one thing I wonder about too, like why you couldn't get this kind of euphoria through being sober, but you just can't. You see just addicts on the street just being addicted to being happy with no substance. It just doesn't work that way. It's a trick of the mind. Which is why I really tell all young people, stay away from these drugs, man. They'll ruin your fucking life in a way you can't imagine. Slowly, too. You're never going to feel that good sober as you did when you were high. It's just the way it is. Well, that's today's rant. You rock on, you party on.